Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, whatever it may be for you. I'm on my way up to Hosokai Koi Farm, and I've been thinking about my relationship with him and thought I'd do a little video for you. Hosokai Koi Farm is one of my first true relationships in Japan, and I met the founder, Shoichi Hosokai, I think about 23 years ago. And even though he spoke no Japanese and I spoke no English, we became good friends. You might not know that Shoichi Hosokai was not only responsible for making the asagi what it is, but he was responsible for developing the Kuro Goshiki, which became a standard. When I met him, his son Masaru and Tadashi were helping with the farm, and Masaru eventually took over the farm, and he is who I deal with today. Tadashi has gone off to do other things, but Tadashi would take us around to other breeders and introduce us, and there's different levels of participation in koi as a professional, and it's not always money that's really important with breeders. What's important is honesty, integrity, and who you are, and relationships. And the Hosokai family became very close and actually did a lot for PS Koi. And early on, Shoichi Hosokai, who was very good friends, and some say best friends, with Toshio Sakai of Matsunosuke fame, actually had his son take me to Isawa Nishigigoi Center and introduce me to Toshio Sakai. And it was years before I realized why Toshio Sakai was so welcoming. And it was because Shoichi Hosokai had told him that I was his friend. The wealth of knowledge that I gained from Toshio Sakai and still get has been huge. It's actually put me in a position where I see things much differently about koi than I probably would have. And I'm just very grateful for that. Anyway, Shoichi Hosokai passed away many years ago, and Masaru, being the older son, took over the business. And Masaru has done a few really important things on his own too. He developed a koi that when I first saw, I went into his facility and said, "Oh, it looks like a cross between an Ochiba and a Goshiki." And he said, "Yes, it's a Goshiki Shigure." There's a famous four-step that a past famous koi hobbyist in Japan had. His name was Kato-san, and it was a four-step. I don't know what happened to it, but I think at one point Masaru bought it back after Kato-san passed and used it as oyagoi. Anyway, I have a picture I'll show later of what an Ochiba Shigori is. Another interesting thing about Hosokai that probably not a lot of people know, that I've actually spoke about for years, is the quality of his Shiro Tsuris. Masaru breeds a lot of varieties, so he doesn't have a lot of any one type of variety that's special. It's just what happens when you do too much and you're one man. But I've always talked about the quality of Shiro he has and bodies. And I might have been 5-6 years ago, I came to Hosokai Koi Farm and Masaru was beaming. It turns out Omosako had come to buy parent fish for his Omosako bloodline, and it was because of the bodies that the Hosokai Shiros have. They're just very, very strong and impressive. And it was just a nice thing to see. I mean, there's been times where You know, he's had amazing Showa where the whole Isa clan showed up to see it. In fact, I had one that I entered for a customer in the All Japan Koi Show years ago. It's just very unique. I'll post a picture of that too if I remember. Anyway, it's the relationship is such that, you know, I come here looking for anything special. I probably don't come enough, but there's just so many hidden gems you can find at Hosokai Koi Farm that I just thought, you know, maybe a little insight into, you know, how I got started with him and the relationship might be something you're interested in hearing about. I just know for me that having these relationships has just changed how I look at koi, and I try and buy koi based on what I've learned. I'm not just buying, you know, good quality finished fish. I mean, for me, the fun is finding things that grow and change and get better. Anyway, I'm almost there, and I will post updates. I don't know what he's going to have available. I did get some fish from him in January for koi shows, Asagi, Ginren Asagi, Yuki Asagi, and so on. But this time of year in April, I come and hand select, and I think because of the relationship, I might be one of the few dealers he allows to do that, which is another honor. So every year it's something different. I think a couple years ago I got a bunch of really nice Shishui. I think last year I got some great Asagi, but I'm hoping he'll have a mix. We'll see. We'll talk to you later. Bye.